Alright, so we saw in the two light setup video that when we took our shot, it was a good looking shot, but one of the problems that we were facing was that the hair of the mannequin is getting merged in the black background here. So I'm going to introduce you to the third light, a very popular light in photography and videography, filmmaking, everywhere, which is this light behind, which I'm not sure if you can see, but you can see a light pointing downwards at our subject. This is called as the very popular hair light. So a hair light, it just separates your subject from the background. So it's just going to give a nice definition, from behind, and it's just going to create this nice rim effect around our subject. And not only will that help us to have a separation between the subject and the background, but it also adds a lot of depth to our shot. Therefore, it's used a lot in movies. So next time you're watching movies, pay attention to what's happening behind the subject, and you'll often see a light which just is illuminating the side or the behind part of the subject, and that is usually the hair light. So the hair light is usually up and pointing downwards like this. Now, for my hair light here, I'm using the speed light or the external flash, which is modified using the snoot here. So I've just put the snoot, so I've used the bracket that I showed you, which allows you to mount the different types of modifiers. So I'm just using that. Now, two things to know. One thing is that you don't always have to use a snoot. Snoot is very popular for hair lights, but you can use other types of modifiers also, like a softbox. You can even fire it bare, because what happens is this is only going to hit our subject from behind. So even if it's hard light, it's okay. And anyway, we also learned that hard light is okay for things which require the texture of something to be shown. So hair has a lot of texture. So even if we throw some hard light on it, it's absolutely fine. But like I said, you can use different types of modifiers to just see. Now, the second thing is that if you're using a speed light or an external flash as your other light in a multiple light setup video, one of the issues is that since a speed light does not have a modeling lamp, you cannot get a preview of how this light is looking on your subject. That's why we cannot see any light right now unless and until we take the shot. So that is one downside of using a speed light or an external flash to do studio photography, that you always have to take a shot and then you can come to know how the shot is looking. But that's a small problem. That's not a big deal. And so you can see that we've got the same setup, two lights here, fill light, key light, and now we've also got the hair light. So let's quickly take a shot and let's see how the hair light helps us to solve the problem of the two light setup. And of course, all three of these, the flash behind, that is the hair light, the speed light is also set to slave mode, so all three of them are going to fire together. Alright, we have got a good looking shot. Now let's go inside our laptop and let's see how the shot looks. Alright, so this is the shot that we have got using the hair light, and you can see that we've got this beautiful look around her head, behind her hair, which is just separating her from the background, like you can see, and this looks really fabulous. So this time you can see that this shot has got much more depth to it. It just looks more 3D and is just much better than, let's say, this shot. You can see this kind of looks just flat because she's just getting merged into the background. There's nothing separating her body from the light behind. So you can also use the rim light. Let's say you don't always have to just point it at the hair. Like sometimes people like to just use it for a body, so you can even put it behind the body and just to give it an overall rim effect. It's up to you. Play around with all this. You can really experiment. Photography is very subjective, but you can see that adding this hair light will do wonders for you. So this is the 3 light setup. In the next video, I'm going to be seeing you in the 4 light setup, where of course we'll be learning something new. So I'll see you there. Bye for now.